it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form, or you just want to give this channel some love. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So in a moment, I'm going to tell you how you can be a strong and confident person within yourself. And this will help you both in your life and in your friendships and a potential relationship, or in a relationship if you've already got one. So stay tuned for that. First of all, though, if you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity book. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com, the founder of Asexualise Academy, and the author of this fibromyalgia self-help handbook, which is all about how to manage fibromyalgia to have less pain, more energy and feel happier. And I talk a lot about how to overcome depression in the book, and also how to decrease your stress levels and your anxiety levels. So even if you don't have fibro, you can still apply a lot of these techniques to your life if you need help with that. The links are down below. So to get into today's video, then today's episode, first of all, I apologize for being a bit later than I usually am. I've been working on my Asexual Guide to Sex book though, so it's really good. It took me longer than I thought it would, so that was really great. And there's been a couple of technical issues coming on here with YouTube, so I'm hoping it holds up. If I disappear, it's really nothing to do with me, but a YouTube thing going on, because a couple of times it actually went off when I was trying to start the stream, so hopefully we'll be okay. So first of all, sending a lot of love to you. Right, so how to be a strong and confident person within yourself. So first of all, I want to talk about how to be a strong person, right? So being a strong person is all about becoming your true, authentic self, and about looking at any challenges that come up in your life as obstacles you will gladly overcome. So you don't see things in life like, I can't do this, and kind of had a negative mindset. Being strong is living and doing things in spite of your fear, in spite of not knowing what to do at the time, in spite of not knowing if it's going to work out or not. This is what you have to do to be strong. So in the past, I was a lot more weaker person in some ways, but I've always been strong in the sense no matter how bullied I got at school, I would always still be me. Obviously, there was a side of me that shut down. I wasn't being my full self, because obviously if you're being bullied, you kind of go withdrawn into your shell, don't you? You get depressed and you kind of keep yourself to yourself a lot. So you're not being fully your true, authentic self. You're keeping a part of yourself kind of like more for you, right? So obviously if you're at school at the moment and you're experiencing bullying, that is not easy to deal with. And I would recommend getting some counselling if it will help you, you know, and you have to know that you're not alone. So being strong is knowing that you're not alone, but if you feel alone, which I did back then, that you will get through this. You know, whatever's happening in your life right now and even in the world, you will get through this. Part of being strong is telling yourself positive self-talk. This is really essential. For years when I had depression, I used to have a very negative mindset. I used to speak to myself very negatively. I used to put myself down a lot, tell myself about my appearance. You know, I didn't like it, basically, you know, the horrible words. I don't want to go into it, but the UGLY word, that type of stuff, which I don't say about myself anymore. I don't think that about myself anymore. But, you know, I used to tell myself a lot of things, and a lot of it came because other people were telling me that type of thing, you know, back in school, back in the day, you know. I didn't get on with school at all. I had a terrible time there. You know, I didn't really have any friends, and I've always been different. And when you are different, you do stand out from the crowd. You can't help but stand out from the crowd. But what happens when you're a kid is a lot of people that are the norm people, they quash you. They kind of crush you into the ground because you are so different to them and they can't deal with it. Ben, you have high self-esteem. Thank you, Ben. Lots of love to you. So they tend to, and I do, you're absolutely right. Back then I didn't, but now I do. So they kind of, when you're at school, they sort of crush you. They try and crush you. And the reason they do this is because they are uncomfortable with you being different to them. They can't handle it. Freaks them out, right? But obviously you don't know this when you're a kid. When you're a kid, it's like there's like a whole gang of people just kind of ganging up on you, being horrible to you, being nasty to you. And so therefore that you don't think you're worth anything, you don't think you've got anything good going on if you're not understood well at home. As a child, my parents really didn't understand me, and so that was very, very difficult. And so, it's kind of hard. I was an only child as well, so I don't have any brothers or sisters to talk to or anything like that. So that's kind of really difficult. There's a lot of stuff in the past that's in the past now. I'm not like that person anymore. But when I was that person, I used to think it was wrong to be me, that I shouldn't be me, that it's not nice being me. So I used to have a lot of negative self-talk going on, a lot of stuff about myself I didn't like back then. And a lot of it was like I was being repressed. I was being repressed by those people that were shoving me down to how they wanted me to be, making me feel really small, useless, worthless, and like they didn't have the time for me and didn't care about me, and unloved in some ways, and unsupported, and misunderstood. And so it was very lonely life back then, very lonely life back then. And then after that was like second school, I had a lot of the bullying going on. I had some in primary school towards the end, but a lot of it was in secondary school. And then I went to college. But then when I went to college, things did change for me, because I started being able to be more of an adult. I started getting away from all those hurtful, narrow-minded people that have been quashing me into their tiny little ground. And I used to think, even when I was at school, I used to think a lot of you will end up with just basically marriage and kids, and you won't really go anywhere in your life. And probably someone like me, who is differently, who knew they were born for a purpose despite everything that was going on around me at the time, was being bullied, I will probably be different. I will not be like those people, because I did not want that life. I did not want to live the life of normality. If that's what normality is, treating people like shit, basically, excuse my language, bullying people, being nasty people, I don't want that life. I don't want that life. To me, that's really boring, horrible, horrible life, right? I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, right? A lot of people now, they're exactly that. They're basically married or not married with kids and just leading pretty much mediocre life, most of them, from what I can tell. Not all of them, I don't think, but the people that used to be horrible to me, some of them have got broken relationships and stuff like that, And so, I haven't had the best track record in past with relationships. I'm not saying if you're different that you have the best types of relationships or that you're better in some ways, but I know that my heart is kind. Do you know what I mean? So I have that going for me. And, you just have to understand that being strong is about overcoming all the bullying, the challenges in your life, all the difficulties, all the problems, and knowing that you are still here on planet Earth. Some people I know, not just me, but some of my closest friends, we've been through a lot of stuff in our life. And I know a lot of asexuals, we go through a lot of rubbish because we are naturally different. We don't fit in with the crowd. We look at people and relationships different. We learn, and so, we look at things very, very differently. And so it's really, really, really important that you understand your difference is your beauty. Your difference is your strength, which is something that you're not taught about, is it? When you're different at school, you're taught that being different's wrong, bad, rubbish, but that's not actually true. Your difference is your beauty. And when I was at college, I started to, I spent a lot of more time on my own. I wasn't around those bad people. There were still people in my life back then that I kind of like kept as friends who weren't true friends. And there were some true friends, and they happened to be foreign, which is probably why I've got a love of foreign guys, Asian they were. And one of my friends back then, he was amazing. He used to go to his country and bring me gifts and stuff, just because he cared, and phoned me up. And, he was so kind to me. And I think that's why I have a really good perception of foreign guys. He was better to me than a lot of British people were, you know, at that time. At that time, I have good British friends now, but at that time, you know. And so, you know, I began as well to understand that I was quite intelligent because I went to college. Now, you can gather your strength by starting to learn more about yourself and by exploring yourself and the aspects that you like and you don't like about yourself. It's very, very important. In order to be strong, you look back at everything you've overcome so far in your life and you be proud of that. You don't need to look back at it and like hang on to it. You look back at it just for the pure simple fact of how far you've come and so much that you've achieved in your life, right? You know, yeah, years ago I would look back and well, probably the year, was it 2 years ago now? I completely changed my mind. I stopped looking at all the, you know, I'm happy in the present now, but the past though was still affecting me back then. But I know Ben said learn to let go of trauma energy. Yeah, it's really important. But also we can use our past trauma to have a positive impact on us in the future, to drive us to be a better person, to live a better life, and to also be happier in the now. Do you know what I mean? So it's very, very, very important. I mean, I personally have done a lot of cognitive reframing, which obviously I've talked about on this channel when it happened, you know. If you don't know what cognitive reframing is, it's when you reframe the past so that everything that happened in the past was really meant to be, even though it might have been really horrible, which is a very, very difficult thing to do, but I managed to do that. So I understand why I went through a load of rubbish now, because I'm here to help people presently. I couldn't do that if I hadn't gone through all that bad stuff. So I'm okay, I'm cool with the past now, but it took me a long time to get to that stage, you know? And being strong is understanding that it's okay if you are slower than some other people at changing your life, you know? Everyone is different. Everyone's pace is different. People learn at different rates. But the point is you need to take control of your life, recognize what you have done in your life so far, how far you've come, that you're still alive, all the challenges you've overcome, right? And take charge of your life now and change it going forward, right? So being a strong person is not dismissing everything that went off in the past as though it's never existed and blocking it out. Being strong is accepting the fact that stuff's happened to you in your past and living a life in the present as you are now and accepting what happened in the past has happened, and there's nothing you can change about that. You can only change yourself in the here and now, which can change your present and can change your future. So it's all about recognizing that you are the person that needs to change your own life. I never knew this. For years, I had a lot of counseling and I was always looking for someone else to help me. But I was so different that many of the counselors couldn't actually help me because I was so different to their ideology, to their stereotypical scripts they're given as counselors. Yep, they're given scripts, believe it or not. I've done some basic counseling skills course, and also I've learned there's another YouTuber who used to be a counselor. Well, he used to be like a psychotherapist, and it's very insightful what he shares on his channel, and a lot of it's scripted because they are living, you know, learning from textbooks. So you can often tell the people that learn by textbooks in comparison to people that have lived experience, like myself, for example. You know, they come from completely different angles. So being strong in yourself is all about recognizing that you went through shit in your past, and that's okay. You come through it. It's important to recognize you come through it because we can forget how far we've come. And if we forget how far we've come, we can think that we can't do anything with our life, that we're incapable, or that, you know, that life is just there. And that's not true. By recognizing what we've come through in the past, we know that we have an inner strength because we were the ones who were actually in that situation. Yes, we might have had people around us, we might not. I didn't have many people, if anyone, around me a lot of the time, you know? So I had to be strong on my own. Very, very, very strong. You know, even the times were really difficult. I had to be strong on my own a lot of the time. It was hard. You know, I wouldn't really wish that life on anyone. It was tough. But I'm glad that I can be here now and I can know all this stuff that I've been through will help other people. You know, if I hadn't been through it, I wouldn't be able to help other people right now. Yeah. Sorry about the plane going over the background, a helicopter or whatever. So it's very, very important that you recognize how far you've come in your life, that you take stock of, that part of your life, all the times that you survived, all the times that you kept going, because you're here now and alive when some people aren't, which means you did survive that situation, right? This is a really positive thing. It shows your inner strength, even though it may have been a struggle. And something I learned in my life is part of being strong is to honor the struggle. Instead of fighting against it and thinking, why is life such a struggle? Why is it so hard? Why is it so difficult? Don't think that way. Change it around, flip it on its head and think, life's a bit difficult now. Life's a challenge, but I rise to the challenge. I believe in my ability to work things out. That's what you have to do. You have to believe in your ability to work things out. So if some situation crops up in your life, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this, but I will learn how to do it. I will discover how to do it. I will find out how to do it. I will know how to do it. This is how you gain confidence, by believing in your own ability to work things out, even if at the time you don't seem to know. Right? This is something I learned in my entrepreneurial journey a lot of the time. The people that succeed in business are the ones that don't say, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, and then carry on saying that. You might initially think, I can't do this, it's too scary or whatever. But the people that are actually doing something in terms of business, creating books, creating products or whatever, doing their hobbies and interests, are ones that believe in their ability to work things out, despite the fact they don't know how to do it at the moment. So when I have a new business challenge now, I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I really don't know how to do this, but I'm going to learn how to do it. So it's very important that you acknowledge your past, in the sense that all the obstacles you've overcome and the challenges, therefore that makes you a strong person just by doing that. And that going forward, you believe in your ability to work things out, whatever happens, and that you take control of your life. You have to understand that you are in control of your life. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your friends, family, counsellors, or anyone says to you. It's up to you what you do with the information that they tell you, and it's up to you to decide for yourself. One of the most powerfulest things I did in my life was when I turned around to a counsellor and said, I don't need counselling anymore, because I do know the answers myself. The counsellor told me, she said, every time you ask me a question, you just answer it yourself, so you don't really need me. And she was right, and that's when I realised the answers are all within me, but it's a confidence thing, because of my past. Even now, I do have confidence issues sometimes with decision making, not with this channel, not with a lot of things, but decision making is difficult sometimes still for me, but I'm getting better at that. I'm just deciding to go for things. I'm just deciding to do it come what may, because unless you try something, you don't learn anything, you don't do anything in life, you just stay stuck. So you have to push yourself forward. You have to be your own best coach in life. You have to really, really, really take charge of your life. You are in control of your life. When you have depression, right, and anxiety, you feel like your life is being controlled by some other means, by something else that's taken over you. And that is part of your mind that is trying to dictate to you how to live your life, because of patterns of behavior in your past, because of previous conditioning since birth and throughout your childhood. You are conditioned to think certain things, to feel certain things, to do certain things, to associate things with certain emotions. You need to realize that in the present moment, you have the ability to change your life. You have the ability to control your life. Once you start making change happen for you instead of to you, you will feel a stronger person. You will be a stronger person, right? When I had depression, anxiety, I just I do still have some anxiety, but I can control it a lot more now, and I'm a lot better with it. But, when I first had that, my life was, and especially depression, my life was completely out of control. I felt like I was like, I don't know, something else ran my life for me, some dark force taking over me or whatever. I don't have that anymore. You have to choose to tell your mind off and say, I'm not having it from you. Thank you for protecting me. You've protected me long enough now. It's time for me to move on and be happy. Sometimes even now, I have thoughts which are not healthy for me, in my brain, and I recognize the fact that that's a thought that's not good. That's an obsessive, past obsessive possessive thought that was unhealthy for me and my situation. And I no longer have that mind. It's like, okay, if I do that, I know where that leads. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow my new mind. Thanks very much, because your old mind will always occasionally try and drag you back to the old way of being. So you have to take control of your life. You have to realize it doesn't matter what people say to you. Ultimately, every decision is your own. Every decision is yours, and you have to take ownership and responsibility for your own life. Don't put it on other people. Take ownership and responsibility for your own life. So if you don't like things about yourself, you need to change them. Right? Part of being a strong person is not ignoring your flaws, it's facing up to your strengths and your weaknesses. And it's actually sitting down with pen and paper and logically going through all your strengths and all your weaknesses, and actually deciding what you like about yourself and what you don't like about yourself. And don't say you don't like anything about yourself. There are things that you will like about yourself, right? Do you know what I mean? There are things you can find to like about yourself. There are some stuff. Even if it's just minor stuff, there is some stuff, believe me. You know, what you like about yourself, what you don't like. And you have to go through the things that you don't like about yourself. Are they really things you don't like about yourself? Or are they things that other people have told you they don't like about you? For example, sometimes in the past, I was told that some people didn't like me talking a lot. But I still carry on talking because it's who I am. It's part of my personality. Then later on, you know, it's like, wow, you can speak, you know, and I can learn from you. And it's good that you're able to talk a lot. And like in groups, like asexual meetup groups, if I wasn't doing the talking and wasn't an extrovert in that way, there'd be a lot of silences that were quite uncomfortable at times, you know? And obviously I wouldn't be able to do this channel if I didn't like talking. I wouldn't be able to help so many people. And I used to do radio presenting, hospital radio presenting for years. And I used to take presents around the kids, you know, prizes, kids around the wards. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have the confidence to speak and help people. Do you know what I mean? So just because some person doesn't like something about you, or a few people don't, even if they're really close to you, doesn't mean to say that it's a bad thing. It could be just them holding you back or being a negative frame of mind because they don't like that about themselves or for their life. But people are different. So part of being strong is recognizing what you like about yourself in spite of others, and what you want to do with your life in spite of. You have to live in spite of fear. You have to live in spite of what other people think. You have to come to terms with the fact that not everyone's going to like you in life. That's what makes you a strong person. You have to be yourself no matter what, and stop being what you think people want to hear. Stop living in fear. Stop being scared. Stop hiding your beautiful self and who you really are, and start living the life you want to live. Will friends go? Some friends will. They're not proper friends. That's fine. Let them go. When you get rid of people who are toxic in your life, who aren't good, who don't support your vision, who don't support you being you, you get new friends come into your life. People who are excited to meet the you that you actually are. People who want to be in your life because they like you, rather than hiding behind the shadow of other people's. Part of being strong is being you and being who you were born to be, despite what people think and in spite of it. Right? I see so many people, for example, asexuals, who are hiding who they truly are. That's not helping them. It's not helping others that are asexual. You know, you have to tell someone, especially if you're going into a relationship with someone, that you are asexual. Don't hide that part of yourself. It will cause a lot of problems down the line for you and that other person if you're hiding your asexuality. You might not be like me and want to tell the whole world, but you should certainly tell the people who are involved directly in your life, you know? But like someone like me who is out to the world, if I end up in a relationship with someone, I can't be in a relationship with someone who doesn't publicly acknowledge that I'm asexual and really they are, or don't like sex, you know, because it'd be no good for me. I'm not going to keep it secret that I'm in a relationship with another asexual. I mean, will it be one of the best highlights of my life if I was? Do you know what I mean? So I'd be proud to be with another asexual, you know, so I need someone who's proud of themselves, you know, and part of being strong is saying, hell, look, yeah, I like this about myself. I don't like sex. I appreciate you do. I don't like it. It's not me. And be bold enough to say that, like on your Facebook or your Instagram, you know? Be bold enough to say that about yourself, because that's part of being strong. Being strong is being your true authentic self in spite of what people think, in spite of what tons of people think. It's about sticking up for what you believe in and about being who you're born to be, right? Confidence comes with practice of anything, whether that's a job, a hobby, an interest, or whether that is being strong. The more stronger you are, the more confident you'll be. And in terms of confidence, you have to believe in your ability to work things out, like I said earlier. Believe you can make good decisions. You have to keep making decisions. This is one of the hardest things I've found as an adult, is to make decisions for myself, because I was always led to believe as a younger kid that my decision would always be wrong. And so that's why I have problems now as an adult, not being able to make as many decisions as I can. But I'm getting better because I'm making more decisions. I'm taking action. I mean, I've got rid of websites that I've had for years. I was clinging to those websites like a mother to a child would, I guess. I'm not interested in having children, like websites are my children. But do you know what I mean? I was clinging to all those domain names because I was thinking I've got all this kind of like domain names going on. It's all my world of quirky. They're all quirky domain names. It's who I am. But I was clinging to the domain names that weren't really needed. I'm getting rid of more this year because I've got new brands coming out. I'll still keep my Asexualise brand, obviously. That's the most important one. You know, my quirky books, my writing. But I'm getting rid of some other domains that I don't use anymore. I get more people like speaking to me through Facebook and Twitter accounts than I do on those websites, you know? And so I don't need them because they're not going to be part of my new businesses. Or if there's any type of thing like that I am doing, I can incorporate into my current, you know, other domains. I don't need to have those extra ones. So that's a big deal because it's making decisions that I've had. I mean, some of those domains I've had since 2014 for 6 years. So even though that sounds a very weird thing to talk about, you know, you have to let go of the past. You have to declutter your home as well. Part of that is being strong, you know, getting rid of things you've had for years. You know, I got rid of a lot of stuff last year, even got rid of my commercial printer. And you might be like, well, what's a printer got to do with anything? A printer is like an object, doesn't have feelings. It's like, you know, the reason I say that is because that printer, as a writer, that printer's been through a lot of times with me. It's been there through bad times, helping me write my books, you know? And so letting that go was difficult before I actually did it. At the time, it was good because it went to a good home and I was really happy. You know, it's a massive commercial printer that I paid a lot of money for, but I sold it for a very, very small amount. But it's gone to a lovely couple and he was going to do it up for his own stuff that he wanted to do. So I was really, really happy it went to a good home. You know, a lot of my things have gone to good homes. And so it's really nice. But, you know, I had to get rid of it. I got a printer that's much cheaper for me to run now. It's just a little desktop one. It's much better. And it's in my bedroom, so I can easily print stuff off for my books. Like I said, I was working on my Asexual Guide to Sex book again tonight. So, well, yesterday now, because I've gone through it the next day. And so, you know, but getting rid of that was hard for me because I had these emotions attached to it. Even though it was an object, I had the emotions attached that printer was like part of my life. It was representing all the difficult times that it'd been there through. But by letting it go, it gives me the power and self-confidence to know that I'm okay and strong in myself. I don't need an object to make me strong because I can let go. And you have to learn to let go. Last year, I started letting go of more things I had in my life, more possessions, if you like, more items that I'd had for years, jewelry that I never wore anymore, things like that. I started getting rid of stuff and decluttering my home. And I know it's quite my home's got a lot more stuff in it again now, but you know, yeah, because my mum and dad decided to give me stuff out of the loft, which I did ask them for. So I got more stuff back again now. But you know, it's very, very important that you learn to let go of certain things, because I can let go now of more things, because I can let go of domains, because I can make more decisions for my businesses. I'm narrowing down all my niches. Obviously, asexuality and writing is my predominant stuff I do at the moment. But I've got 3 other niche things I'm going to be doing this year, right? And so, you know, I'm narrowing down things. Rather than being so wide, I'm narrowing down what I'm good at, what I need to do, what I need to help people with, what will help me and help them the most, you know? this is all positive stuff. So because I'm making more decisions now, because I'm taking more action, because I'm pushing myself through my fears and boundaries more, because I'm facing and staring fear more in the eye, because I'm learning, growing and developing myself, it's better for me, because you're only growing confidence that way. The more decisions you can make for yourself, whether they're right or wrong, is better. And they can never be wrong. The reason they can never be wrong is because you learn from the experience. So even if you would be seen to fail in other people's eyes, you've never failed, because you learn things. So there is no failure in life, only lessons you can learn from. And when you adopt that mindset, you adopt that thinking that there is nothing, no failures in life ever, only lessons you learn from, then you are free and brave to do whatever you want. Because whatever happens, you will survive, you will thrive like you have for years, and you will be alive, and you will make it through these tough times. You will make it through the difficult times, because you made a decision. There's a lot of power and momentum in decision. The more decision you make, the more momentum you have, the more power you have, the more inner power you have, the more confidence you have, the stronger person you are. It takes guts, but you have to push yourself. You have to push it. When you make change happen for you, rather than other people making it happen to you, life gets so much better. And I learned that years ago. All this change used to happen to me all the time. I hated change. Now I make change happen for me. I'm like, no, I'm going to get rid of those domain names. No, I'm going to get rid of those possessions in my life. No, I'm going to go and make a conscious decision to do this. Like even things like, which is a big deal in terms of relationships and dating, right? Last year, I let myself go out to a club and kiss guys I'm not in a relationship with. Whereas before, my mentality was always, any guy I kiss, I should be in a relationship with, because that to me is my intimacy usually. And I think it should be in a relationship usually. But I decided after 6 years of being on asexual dating sites and not having a relationship and getting into relationships occasionally with sexuals or dating sexuals, and that it wasn't actually very good or healthy for me. So it was healthier for me to allow myself and give myself conscious permission to go and kiss guy in a club or guys if I wished to do so and felt safe around it in the club I like to. She's got security guards around it, and get a taxi home, obviously, by myself. So, any aspect of your life, whether it's to do with family, friends, hobbies, interests, dating or relationships, you have to make decisions for yourself. It's better you make decisions for yourself and make change happen for you than other people make change happen to you. Because the more you make change happen for you, the more you'll feel in control in your life, the more you'll be in your personal power, and the more you can move forward in your life. Right? Move forward. You have to move forward, because if you don't, you stagnate. Life gets boring. You're like, what the heck am I doing here? If you don't know your life purpose, the problem is you're not strong because you don't know your life purpose. You have to make your life purpose right now to find your life purpose. Right? You have to make that your full-time job. Right, if you're in a job that you're not really happy with usually, if you're going along in life, not really knowing what you're doing, you have to find your life purpose. Because once you've got your life purpose, you'll realise that a lot of the time your life purpose is to do with helping others. The more you help others in your life, the more you feel grateful for being alive and able to help others. And the more stronger you become. And the more confident you become. Because you can see you help others. Give back to others. Don't make everything about yourself. I realize that if you've got depression, it ends up being a lot about you, but go the other way. Take control of your depression and say, hey, thanks for being there all these years, but I can let you go. See, for me, depression used to be kind of like my only friend years ago. So I used to cling to it for dear life, but I didn't realize it was holding me back. I didn't realize it was killing my soul. I mean, I felt it killing my soul at the time, but I wasn't consciously aware so much of what it was taking over me. But I don't have that life anymore. I have a life where even if rubbish happens, even if I'm sad or upset sometimes, I still am not depressed. I can still get through things. I can still turn it around. I can be sad and upset in the morning, and by later on, I can be happy again. Because I believe in my ability to work things out and change my life around. I change my state, And if I have a couple of sad days, it's not the end of the world, because when you are a strong person is not about keeping your emotions in and bottled up and then blurting them out. Being a strong person is having the ability to sit there in your own tears and cry sometimes. You know, it's literally sitting there and crying with your own tears and being okay with your own tears, knowing that you need to let this cry out, you need to let this pain out. Every so often I have a cry, right? And it's good for me because it lets out that pain. When you have pain inside your body, it builds up and it causes more pain, anguish, and very bad things in your body. So it's better you let all this out. It's much more better. And that is a stronger person. A strong person knows how to channel those emotions that they feel out of themselves. So they are free again. You know, this is a strong person. A strong person is someone who lives in the face of adversity, overcomes obstacles in life because they see them as challenges and they believe in their ability to work things out. They realize how far they've come in life and think, wow, give yourself a huge congratulations. You've really changed your life around, or you've really survived that situation. You've come through it. You're amazing, you know? And positive self-talk. You know, the only way you get more confident is if you practice doing things, and that means including practicing positive self-talk. Say, wow, you got through that. You did it. You know, even if getting out of bed's your go-to thing you need to do and you haven't done it, like, wow, I got up today. I had a shower. I listened to my favorite music. I watched a movie. Whatever it is, you know, you have to praise yourself. The more you praise yourself, the more you'll love your life, the more you'll be happy with yourself and be grateful. Think, wow, I'm in such an awesome flat right now. Wow, I've had some nice food today. Wow, I've got beautiful clothes to wear. Wow, I'm alive. You know, and all this helps to build your confidence and self-esteem up by realizing what you have got, by realizing what you have achieved, by being grateful and thankful in the moment, so that you're not focusing on lack, loss, and what you don't have. You're focusing on everything you do have. Everything you do have. You're focusing on the home that you have, the friends or the family. And if you haven't got friends or family that treat you well or respect you or support you, go and get other friends that become your family. Right? One of my best friends, my female best friend, actually said, friends are family we choose for ourselves. And it's so important. Sometimes your friends can be better for you than your own family. Sometimes. Depends on your family dynamic and situation. You know, other times, you know, your family can be your best friends as well. Right? But always be true to who you are. Right? Because if you're not living your true authentic life, how can you expect to go into relationships and friendships with other people and develop really good friendships and quality friendships and relationships? Because if you're not being yourself, then that dynamic is going to somehow come unstuck years later, or sooner rather than later. Right? You need to be your true authentic self and show who you really are to the world and to people. If people don't like it, they can go from your life because you don't need them in it. Right? So be strong, live in spite of, survive and thrive. Know how far you've come. Take decisions, make decisions in spite of the outcome. Know there are no failures in life, just lessons we learn by. So it doesn't matter what the outcome is. Now, I've done some business stuff that hasn't necessarily gone according to plan. Does it matter? No, because I learned what doesn't work so I can get to what does work. You have to go through things sometimes to know what doesn't work in order to know what does work for you. You know, not everything that has happened in your life that wasn't good hasn't helped you, because it could help you know that it wasn't a good thing for you, that wasn't the right thing for you to do, that wasn't a good experience. Therefore, you can try and do something else. So there is no failures in life. You know, and like I was saying earlier, you need to make finding your purpose your full-time job if you've not yet found your life purpose. Go and do courses. You can do courses online. Go and read some books. Go to some business seminars, personal and professional development workshops, self-development workshops. Pick something like, if you like a certain type of music, maybe learn how to play that music. If you learn like dressing up, maybe find out where your nearest Comic Con is, maybe online, Comic Con, you know, where you dress up in characters, maybe from superhero movies and stuff like that. You know, they have online parties as well at the moment, you know. So whatever it is in your life, whatever you like, even if it's just a little bit, pursue that, go after it. And in the meantime, if you don't know, just go and do some stuff. try some stuff out, Some people don't know what's right for them in their life, but you try something out. The more you try out different things, the more your confidence will grow, because you'll find skills and abilities and have experiences you never thought you would have or be doing, So it's all good. There is no failure in life, only lessons you can learn from. Please, please, please do remember, in order to be strong, think there are no failures in life, only lessons you can learn from. Think about how far you've come in your life and what you've achieved so far. You're alive, you've survived, you thrived. Think about how you want to change your life. Write down, literally, how you want to change your life. Now, if it's your physical appearance, what are you going to start working on first? Your hair. You're going to get a haircut. You can cut your hair yourself. Are you gonna change your clothes, change your look, get a new set of clothes? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna change your home environment so it's different for you? Maybe it needs to be more playful and less bland, or maybe it's cluttered and needs decluttering. Relationships. Are you in a relationship where someone doesn't care about you? Someone's being nasty to you and putting you down the whole time? End the relationship. Find someone new. If you're in friendships and the friendship is pretty much one-sided, and it's you doing all the work, you going to see them, you phone calling them, stop doing it. People treat us how we accept them to treat us. So if you don't want to be accepted like a second-rate person or second-rate friend or someone they don't really care about, stop doing it. Walk away and leave it. Even be honest if you want and say, look, this isn't working out for me. I require a different type of person in a friendship. I put a lot of energy and effort into my friendships and I want the same back. If you don't get the same back, walk away. Walk away. If you want to change your body shape, then you either do it or you don't. If you don't change your body shape, you have to love the body you're in. Why? Because you're with yourself 365 days a year, right? If you don't love the skin you're in, it's going to be a very miserable life for you. So part of being strong is either changing the stuff and not saying I can't change it, but doing whatever it takes to change it, or accepting yourself for who you are and loving you in the now. So if you're bigger, you need to love the fact you're bigger. You need to be confident and bold and charismatic still, and confident and happy, no matter what you look like. A lot of success in life is all about being confident with yourself. It's all about being optimistic and happy. This attracts other people to you, right? So when you're depressed, that repels people, not because you or yourself are depressed, but because you're putting out depressive vibes, negative vibes. And it's all about you and your life being negative. What you need to do is turn it around and ask people, hey, how are you feeling? How are you doing today? Make life about them more, and give them some positive vibes. Give them some happy things to think about. Ask what they're grateful for if you haven't got any ideas. Reach a hand out to other people. Other people are lonely at this time. Reach a hand out to them. Care about others, not just be within yourself. And take charge of your life. Control it. Don't let it control you, like I said earlier. So work through the list, of all the things you want to change about yourself and start doing it. If you don't like your hair color, dye it. Change it. Right? It's as simple as that, literally. Don't like my hair color, dye it. Don't like my hairstyle, change it. Don't like my clothes, buy new ones. Right? This is what you need to do. Right? It's literal or lateral thinking, Don't like your job, go and find another one. Research it now, right? Want to travel abroad but haven't done it yet, right? Find out everything you need to travel abroad. Get a passport. Haven't got the money, go and get a job to get money to get a passport. Right? Can't do that now. Okay. So you park that one, you write it down, you write your plan. What are you going to do if you can't actually do anything physically about it now? Write your plan. It's a physical thing you can do. Like, how much will it take to get a passport? What job will I need to get that money to raise for the passport? What country do I want to go to? How much money do I need to spend? What hotels are there? Do I have any friends there? What am I going to do there? Activities, all this type of thing. Everything you can do, everything in your life you can change. Right? If you're someone who has really long hair and hates long hair, cut it short. If you're someone who has really short hair and like it long, grow it. When I was a kid, I had to have short hair. To about 10 years old. I hated it. Right? That's why I love having my hair long now. It was much nicer on me. Because I choose that for myself. My mum likes short hair, I don't. I like really long hair, on me. So you have to live your life for you, not what other people choose your life to be or your look to be, right? If you've got people who are unsupportive and negative, get them out of your life. If you keep putting up with that, they'll keep doing it to you. Because you're saying, oh yeah, I'm only worth that because it's okay if you do that because you're in my life and I'm not doing anything about it. You have to let some people go. Yes, it might hurt and upset you for a bit, but it's better that than having these people around you that are bad for you. Because you're never going to get into a good place and a good life while you're around bad people. Right? You need to be finding people who are good people, who make you happy, who make you smile, who make you feel good to be you and be around more of those people and get rid of them. If you've got a Facebook friends list and you're about 500, 800, whatever people on there, and most of the people you don't talk to, and anyone that, starts posting negative stuff, just defriend them, block them, delete them, get them out of your life. Why are you worried about people who are not even in your life a lot of the time? Right? And if you don't want someone to be a friend who's your family member, just say, look, I don't feel comfortable being friends with you on Facebook because I feel we should have our own space. It's simple as, isn't it? That's an adult thing to say. It's simple as, right? I have a couple of cousins on my Facebook friends list. That's about it, because I choose that they're okay to have on there, but that's it, and if I decide to choose differently, I can choose differently in the future. Do you know what I mean? So it's very, very important that you live your life for you, that you take control of it, you take charge of it. You have people in your life that love you and care about you. I know it's not always easy if you live with someone who's not good for you, but you need to get out of that situation to improve your life. But or if you have to be in that situation, still be you. Still say, I am not changing myself. If I like certain things about myself, I'm not changing for you. I'm still being me. If they don't like it, they don't like it. But if you're not being horrible to someone, if you're not harming anyone, you're not a nasty person, you don't need to change, do you? Obviously, you need to recognize when you do need to change, though, and you need to develop and grow yourself into the best version of you that you can be. So you listen to feedback in a constructive way, not in a oh, they must be right about me way. Someone says something nasty, is it coming from a place of spite, jealousy, ignorance, or is it coming from a place where they might have got a point? And is a point that valid? Or is it just okay, difference of opinion? You have your life, I have mine. So it's very, very important to live your life for you. Be strong, stay strong, be true to who you are, regardless of what anyone else thinks, says, or does. And regardless of whether they're going to like you or not for it. You still need to be you. You can't please everyone all the time. Don't be a people pleaser because you end up pleasing no one, especially not yourself. Right? Take charge of your life. Write down all the aspects of your life that you want to change. Write down the stuff that you love or like. If you can't think of what to do with your life, go out there, find what to do. Go online and find it. You don't have to physically go out in the whole wide world. You can, out offline. You can go online and do it these days, right? Comfort of your own home. There's loads and hundreds and thousands of courses online, some of which are free or less expensive, and other ones you're going to have to pay for. But you're worth it. If you can't invest in yourself, what does that say about your self-worth? Down. You have to be prepared to put some money in towards yourself and your life, to change your life. You have to be prepared to do things that are uncomfortable in order to get confident. And the more things you do that are uncomfortable over and over again, the more confident you become, because the more confident you become, because the more comfortable you become doing that thing, and the more competent you become, the more competent you become, the more confident you become. So this is how you become a strong and confident person, by getting out of your comfort zone, by doing things that are uncomfortable, by changing your life, taking control of it, writing down everything you're not happy with, changing it, or accepting it as it is, and being grateful and thankful for things that are good in your life, whether that's good friends, good food, whatever it is. This is what you need to be doing to be strong and confident. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining this chat. I really appreciate you. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. And thanks for being with me on this live stream. Love to you. Take care. Bye. Bye.